The first important thing, been working very hard in the link between every simulation and a treatment plan behind that simulation. So when you do a smile simulation with the app, work with any center, this smile simulation will become a 3D plan. This smile simulation will be integrated with the existing position of the bite and will work as a starting point for a comprehensive treatment plan. And that's one of the key of the planning center. Help dentists to treatment plan better, help dentists to make better decisions for their patients. It starts from the smile simulation with the app, but it doesn't end there. We need to translate the 2D simulation into a 3D project. We need to link this 3D project with the bite. We need to list and analyze overbite, overjet, occlusion, vertical dimension. We need to analyze perio. We need to by structure and function. We need to then link this project into the interdisciplinary simulations that we do in 3D, using the DSDApp to guide your orthodontist to move where you believe is the right position, using the DSDApp to guide your periodontist to move the gum and the bone, using the DSDApp to help your implantologist to plan the surgery and place the implant in 3D where it should be. Utilize the app to help the technicians to actually use technology to design more predictable restorations. That brings me to the new DSD restorative workflow that we've been working so hard with. That is the link between the app, the 3D DSD smile simulation, the interdisciplinary treatment plan, and the final CAD/CAM restoration. We have the amazing possibility to actually link the app to the final veneers, to the final crowns, by utilizing the library, the natural library of the DSDApp, and having the same library in CAD/CAM today. Today, we can really generate a beautiful 2D smile simulation and actually transform this into a 3D mockup, a 3D printed test drive, a provisional, and then keep this predictability all the way to the final restoration. We have a beautiful possibility of fabricating veneers, crowns, and dentures with the same files, keeping the predictability, telling this amazing stories. Being able to do a simulation and have predictability all the way to the end is a powerful story that I believe patients in the near future will demand. The patients also, they want to be part of the project of designing their own smile. So we suggest people to use the app with the patient, to really bring the patient on board, have the patient with their own finger to lengthen the teeth, shorten the teeth, the shapes, select different smile donator, change the arrangement, change the relationship with the face, really bring your patient on board because of the simplicity of designing the app, allowing you to do a smile simulation in few minutes, of course, allows you to get the confidence to do it in front of your patient, with your patient. Make your patient become a co-designer, a co-author of their own smile. What I always mention is that DSD has two very important moments that I want to emphasize again here. And this is important to explain because people get confused many times about when to use DSD, how to use DSD, So DSD has actually two specific moments, what we call the motivational moment and what we call the technical moment. Motivational moment is everything we do before case acceptance, from social media strategies, from marketing strategies, from PR strategies, from improving our communication, improving our charisma, body language, understanding human behavior, from the whole experience that the consumer, that the client, the possible patient goes through, from creating awareness and helping the patient to decide to pick us, or happy even for the patient to realize that dentistry can help them. And as they realize how to help them, make the dentist, the patient actually, to choose us, and then have the patient coming to us. Then the whole journey, front desk, waiting room, first appointment, second appointment, presenting the treatment plan, before presenting the treatment plan, creating the treatment plan, documenting the case, designing the smile, linking this design to the specialist, communicating with the team. There's so much that needs to be done from our perspective, from the dental perspective, to bring new patients, increase the number of new patients, document these new patients, share this information, design the smiles, treatment plan better, make better decisions, prepare our presentation better, present this better to the patient, increase case acceptance. That is the core of our business. There's no way we can show the patients how good we are as dentists. Don't convince them to actually accept the treatment from us. So everything that happens from creating awareness, the moment that the patient says yes to us, I accept the treatment, this is what we call motivational DSD phase. After case acceptance starts the second part of the journey, and that's actually the treatment. That's actually performing everything that you promised, is transforming the project into reality, utilizing the best procedures, the best materials, the best team, really understanding how to look at the project and translate into reality, utilizing the best guides, the best devices, the best systems, the best technology to deliver better clinical procedures. Really translating the plan into reality, utilizing guided dentistry, utilizing quality control, really bringing the specialists on board and having all the specialists to understand the final goal and perform each procedure towards that goal. This is modern guided dentistry. And that's what we believe, that's what we promote, that's what we want to help more people to achieve. Guided dentistry, controlled dentistry, predictable dentistry, quality dentistry, minimally invasive dentistry, comprehensive dentistry. Better results for more people. And the technology help more dentists to deliver better dentists for more patients, making better dentistry a little bit more democratic. As we know today, a very, very small percentage of the population around the globe has access to good dentistry. And I believe one of the great things about technology is to try to use technology to make good dentistry more democratic. So why do I want to explain the motivational moment of DSD and the technical moment of DSD? The app can help us on both environments. We do smile simulations for a motivational purpose. We do smile simulation to initiate a smile design project and a treatment plan project. This is before case acceptance. Do use the app at the end of the process as well. We use the app after the whole treatment is performed, but restorations are still fabricated. That's a very important suggestion that I do right now for everybody that is using the app. Don't use it for a smile simulation at the beginning to increase case acceptance. After the treatment is done, before you order the final restorations to your lab, use the app again. Take the app with your patient and redo the smile simulation, not to increase case acceptance now to increase the technical communication of the smile design process between the restorative dentist and the patient, one of the key factors into creating patient happiness, patient satisfaction. We want to reduce the amount of adjustments, aesthetic adjustments of the final restorations, and we want to reduce the amount of patients that are unhappy with the smile simulation after the restorations are done. So what we suggest is a technical picture, a technical simulation side by side with your patient to reevaluate in details things that we don't do at the beginning, because at the beginning is not the moment to go over details. The moment to go over details is after the treatment is done, before the final restorations are finished or tried in. When you're about to order to your lab the restorations, you can use the app again. You can simulate that and use the DSD. Whatever you approve in the app in this technical moment can be beautifully routed to final restorations with amazing predictability. If you show a simulation to your patient and your patient says, I like this, but my centers a little bit longer, and you learn the centers a little bit more in the app, if you approve that project, the DSD Planning Center and the DSD Lab can fabricate restorations identical to that approved project. And that is a beautiful, powerful news story that we can tell when we restore mouths. I think they deserve to have this opportunity to discuss in depth the integration, the aesthetic integration of a smile that they will have to use for the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 years of their lives. And I believe that the app brings this moment into reality, gives us this tool to actually allow us to discuss this with the patient for a moment. Not only we can discuss in 2D on the simulation, but if we're sure that the 2D simulation is enough for our patient to approve, before ordering final restorations, we can actually order what we call the printed test drive, a beautiful new solution that I believe every restorative dentist should take advantage of it. When we simulate a smile before jumping into final restorations that are expensive and difficult to change, and when we change, we lose a lot of time and we waste money, what we can do is actually to order a printed, inexpensive shell as a smile test drive. So we can actually click this shell over the preps. Different than the motivational mock-up, completely different than the motivational mock-up. This is a technical mock-up. This is a test drive. It's a printed test drive smile where we can remove the provisional and click this test drive to evaluate in details the design with the patient's face. If you test this shell, if you do this test drive with your patient, you film your patient and you allow your patient to compare in the app the existing provisional with different possibilities of test drives, they can really, with confidence, pick the project that they like, and then you can order the final restorations identical to that test drive. And when I say identical, it is identical because digital work allows us to something beautiful and new in restorative dentistry, and that is the copy-paste effect. If we like a 3D project, we copy-paste into the final restorations. And this is what we call the new DS restorative workflow. And I hope many of you will take advantage of this. It all starts with the app. It goes through the planning center, through the DSD lab, and it ends up with beautiful, predictable final results.